Hello, y'all. So, good evening. Um, the reason I'm coming to you guys like this is because my story has to be told. What I mean is, it has to be told. How I'm feeling. I'm basically going to break down a 4 to 8 year relationship in about an hour. So, if you want to stay tuned, you can. If not, Godspeed. But I feel like it has to be told. Because one thing I don't do, as y'all know, I am not mostly goofy on here. We have good ball, we have fun, but I am going through my own situation. Does that thing will ever happen to me? No. It was, but was I in reality of it happening? Yes. So I'm about to tell you guys. So let's start when I was about 16. I got into a relationship with this person. We're gonna call them Darius because I don't want to use their real name. So if you hear Darius throughout this talk, that's what their name is. They're gonna call me Sandra. So Darius and Sandra had a loving relationship. Hey Bree, how you doing? So Darius and Sandra had a loving relationship online. They had stuff in common via online because they both were outsiders. They both didn't have friends at school. They both were bullied and became the bully. So you might say, why did not work out? Well, here we're gonna go. Disclaimer: this is my story. I'm not asking for advice or sympathy, but I have to get this off my chest because I am a real person, and this does affect me on a daily basis. And I feel like you guys should at least get a little bit of what is going on with me. So disclaim that. So we're gonna fast forward. We were in a living relationship online, and so we eventually met each other for the first time. We both were shy, blase. Darius, who lived in another state, they both were separate. It was long distance relationship. So Darius at the time was in DC, and Sandra at the time were in Maryland. So they finally got to meet each other. It was fun. They enjoyed each other's company. Fast forward to 17. Wow. 15, fast forward to 16. They both, Darius had lost his grandmother and his great auntie. And Sandra had lost her mom. So they both were grieving. Sandra was trying to be there as best she could for Darius. He kept pushing her away. She even prayed for him several times, tried to talk him out of dangerous situations that could end him up in prison. Darius at the time was going through his own grieving, and he didn't know how to help her. and her grieving because he's going to do the same thing. Sandra, however, was willing to put her feelings aside and help him. And mind you, neither one of them knew how to love the other person. So, hey JC, I'm just telling my story. Hakuna Matata to you. Yeah, they didn't know how to love each other. So they're both battling that and they were stressed out. Hey Kim, welcome. Welcome you all. Yeah, they didn't know how to love each other. They was trying to thank you guys for the likes as well. Basically trying to help each other in a grieving stage. But Darius, however, took Sandra being there for him as a crutch, and he played with her emotions. He cheated on her not once but twice. First with his neighbor, who Sandra, that she was angry. Sandra, in her anger state, let that affect her thinking. So Sandra was going to fight the girl over him. But then Sandra had to take a look back and say, no, I'm not reading the book. I'm telling my story in third person. I feel like I should just say, basically, I tried to help the person do their grieving, and they, I let my anger get the best of me because I, I was willing to fight the girl over him, and then I had to take a step back and say, you know what, that's not what I'm about to do. I'm never willing to do that. That's just a moral I don't have, to fight a girl over a guy. I never have. I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight a person over a boy or a girl, because, if the person doesn't want to be with that person, they're not going to be. Point blank, period. So Sandra decided to be the bigger person and tell that girl that he cheated with that she's not going to fight over him. He can have her, or she can have him, basically. And the girl eventually had called her. To wind a little bit back, the girl had called her and told her that she was sleeping with her, Darius. Sandra didn't know because they were long distance. They only talk on the phone. Mind you, they never video chatted at this point. So yeah. But they've seen pictures of each other. But yeah, that's something she want to do. The next time, fast forward to 18. They got to see each other a couple more times. The girl was Sandra did not get over her grieving mom until about, never really got on it, but she moved on. Darius, however, took his grieving to a whole nother level, where he was blaming Sandra for everything that went wrong in his life. Now, should Sandra have left at that moment? No. Yes, Kim, you got it. Yeah, so since Sandra left that point, yes, she should have, because he was blaming her for everything, stressing her out. He didn't care about his opinions. He didn't care about Sandra at that point. I don't know. If he did, he didn't show it. He was an asshole to her. Public period. Being the kind person she is, she also had anger herself, anger issues, so that didn't help as well. Sandra let her feelings get in the way. She would cuss him out. She would threaten to come to his house with a gun and shoot him in the face, basically. And because there's comes to this point in time where your threats become promises. And as y'all know, Sandra has depression, and she still has depression, by the way. So, just think of the two desperate people. I said desperate people. Two depressed people and grieving and all of that stuff in the mix. I'm gonna go with that. They're basically toxic. But they held on. I don't know why they hung on, because they hung on. But there's some type of love in that toxicity. This is what hold to her and you being a kind person. Okay. Yep. Got it. So, then she finds out. I know the second time Zedarius cheated, he was with a. Well, sorry. We're gonna get that later. But Sandra had found out she was pregnant. Like while she was during school. So, apparently for 5 months, and she didn't know. I'm sorry, not 5 months. She was 5 weeks, and she didn't even know. Sandra never had morning sickness. None of that. She didn't know. And so she had a bad, and she had like a bad pain in her stomach, and so she had told her Darius was with her at the time, so he took her to the hospital to see what was wrong, and found out she was pregnant at the time. So, yeah. And Sandra's in her head thinking, oh my God, why do I want to leave this relationship, but I have I'm about to have a kid now. Whoop. Wow. And so they decided to restart their relationship in the hopes of creating a better life for themselves and the new baby involved. Darius, he was encouraging at first, and then he used that as a crutch. You'll see in the next few years as you go by. But yeah, Sandra, she was like, oh my God, I'm having a baby, blah. And then they had told Sandra had went home that day and told her sister. Her sister wasn't shocked, but she understood where she was like, she knew that her sister wanted to have the baby. Sandra wanted to have the baby. She didn't want to get rid of it. She was going to be a mom because she's always wanted to be, and it doesn't matter if her and the dad are together or not. She wanted to have the child. And yeah. So, Her other option was she wanted to have the baby and give it to someone who couldn't have children. That was her other option that she was thinking about. But she said no, she's going to go ahead and have it after several discussions with her family. When she first brought it up to them, they didn't want her to have an abortion just because it was much easier not to think about it. You know, that's what they did in that family. So it was her first time finding out about this after a few years later. Okay. So Darius and Sandra decided to get remarried. I mean, not remarried. They decided to go get married at the courthouse where Darius lived because they wanted to do things the right way. Be married, have children, the whole nine. Move, have an apartment, getting together, all that jazz. If you wanted to have more kids, at least they would be where they wanted to be at the time, and they still wanted to go to school. Basically had a plan in motion. Darius, however, had his own thing where he wanted Sandra to be a stay-at-home mom and not work and take care of all his needs, even be mom and pop to the dad. Sandra did not find this out until the baby was about, I want to say she was 6 months when she found this out. Because it takes a while for your body to heal, vice versa. Sandra was also breastfeeding at the time, and she was also she got let go, I think, working at the time, but she was let go because of her pregnancy. The Darius, however, made sure he could go to the appointments with her. Sandra tried to work on him, but also it was for the safety of getting the child back and forth around the colder months. So she tried to make it appointments as early as possible to get the minor out of and out and back home. Because Sandra didn't have transportation except for public transportation and still doesn't. There's, however, decided to, we're going to fast forward to, what was it? 19 and 21 is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. 19 to 20 is the years I'm talking about. Sorry I didn't put that in perspective. But yeah. So basically, they moved in, they did the whole nine, they had a kid, blah, blah, blah. He said, girl, it sounds like a big mass triangle. Get away from that as fast as you can. Yep. Sandra should have got away. But no, she held on. I don't know why. But, yeah, so basically they moved in and the violence began. So it didn't get physical till about 1 year later because it was mostly emotional, what's that? Verbal, emotional and verbal. It was only that going on. It wasn't physical till like the last year of their relationship, as you say, before the child ended. Mostly combative. Sandra would go to work, and Sandra got a job like a year before when the minor was about 1.5. So Darius, I think, was jealous of Sandra at the time because she got the job and he didn't. Blah, blah, blah. It was for the same company his uncle worked for. So, Sandra would go to work. Darius would be at home with the minor. Darius, every time Sandra would come in the house, would not give her at least 5 minutes of silence. Well, not silence, but just personal space. He would invade her in the bathroom. He would complain about watching the minor. He would play his game and ignore her. He wouldn't ask about her day. He'd just be like, "This is what I need you to do." And well, not this is what I need you to do, but can you do this for me? He wouldn't say thank you, nothing. Nope, they're not together. That's why I said the trial. Sandra is 23. Sandra is 23 now. Whoop whoop. But yeah, there is basically put up being about the minor. He would basically expect Sandra to be his mother, and Sandra was like, "Helps to know, I already have a baby, and I'm not raising a grown Negro. I want to say Negro. I'm gonna say Negro." Basically, he expected her to go to work, expected Sandra to go to work and be catering to him only and not the kid, which cannot happen because when you have a kid, you have to put yourself out of the way and focus on the kid. But Darius didn't get that picture for some reason. He wanted to be the king, and basically Sandra was his servant. Okay. Fast forward to 22. Sandra was still living with I'm sorry, fast forward to 21. Sandra's still living with Darius, but they're not together. They actually have Sandra has moved her things into the minor's room because she doesn't want to deal with him anymore. She doesn't want to think about him. None of that. I'm sorry. Basically, Darius wanted Sandra to be his wife, his servant, and go to work. So, head of the household, if you want to put it. He wanted to play his games on his PS4 and didn't want to have the responsibility of raising a baby. He just wanted to be there and claim the title as dad. So, yeah. That's how I was going with that one. Yep. But she only stayed because she was looking for a place herself for just her and the baby. At that point, she did not want to be in the same room with him. Blase. Mind you, Darius and Sandra were living with his grandmother at the time. So technically, was it Darius's house? Yeah, she moved her belongings into the minor's room because she basically took care of the house, did everything, and he basically did what he wanted to do while Sandra did all the work, hard work, cleaning, washing dishes, I guess normal things you have to do for a kid. Washing clothes, any parenting thing, the right parenting thing to do. Well, there's complained and complained and complained and complained about being a dad. So she basically found her own center. Sandra had to find her own peace and say, you know what? I'm doing what I gotta do for the baby. If you're mad at me, oh well, get over yourself. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to have to deal. I'm not doing anything for you anymore. I'm not cooking for you. I'm not doing your laundry. None of that. She was just going to live there, save up her money until she could leave him. She eventually found a place that they both could live in, her and the minor, that was a program. Now, the biggest mistake Sandra made was telling Darius that she was going to, and she basically had found a place. That was a big mistake. Plan was for her to just leave, not tell him anything until they were settled in. That was her plan. Fast forward to 22. Sandra gets paper. Well, no, sorry. 21 is the same story. So Sandra wakes up one morning. It's her day off. She's doing a normal routine with her baby. Blase, blase. She comes downstairs to two police officers at the bottom of the stairs. They're handing her paper saying, you've been served court papers. And she's like, okay. So she tells him, she said, I'm going to the courthouse and I'm going to file against you. Because it was her plan anyway, eventually, because she, in the back of her mind, she knew he was going to try to do something like this out of spite. He would not let her leave. He would not let Sandra leave that day. He wouldn't let Sandra take the baby, or he would have called the police. At that time, Sandra and Darius' mom was there to visit. So, basically, Darius' mom was backing Sandra up, and Darius didn't like it, so he tried to prevent both of them from leaving. And he ended up kidnapping the minor and kidnapping her that day and playing the mind trick game with Sandra, saying that she was fine. Darius did not answer the phone the entire day. Mind you, when she kept blowing up his phone, he answered, and Sandra heard the minor screaming, "Where's mom?" Blah blah blah. Darius would not tell Sandra where they were at, so she couldn't get her kid. So Sandra decided to sit at the grandmother's house until he returned with the child. Darius, however, decided to play games once again, play the waiting game, and make her wait after midnight for him to come. And Sandra's like, okay, I'm waiting here until you bring the minor back. And Sandra and his grandmother Darius's grandmother has said she will let Sandra know if he comes back with the kid. So, following the next day, Darius's grandmother had said they're in the home and you can come get her. Because Darius' grandmother never liked Darius. Well, not never liked Darius, but she never liked his personality. She knows how he is. And she was agreeing with Sandra again. Darius at this point thinks that everyone is ganging up on him. His mom and his grandmother, his aunts, whatever, are ganging up on him because he's wrong. Shayma had hot mess. Now he wants to take her to court for the child. I know stories happen to me. Yep. Hot mess. You're right. I'm about to go to work. Came in to say hey. Stay blessed. Thank you, my phone dome. I hope you can come on sometime with me in this panel. I really love your content, brother. But yeah. Basically, Darius thinks that everybody is ganging up on him at this point. So, he plays the waiting game with Sandra, like I said. And it does not come back with her to the next day. Sandra comes with her sisters to back to grandmother's house to get the child, non-violent protest, whatever. Darius decides to run away with the child again until Sandra's sister blocks him at the door, the front door, and the back, and the other sister blocks him at the back door. Sandra then is given the baby and flees out the back door because that is the right thing to do. Mind you, but amidst all of this, Darius' grandmother is saying, take the child and go. You can take her and leave. She wants the minor to be with Sandra. So I'm going to fast forward. I love you, Sarah. And then after that incident happens, guess what happens, guys? Sandra is filed another paper in the mail not long after the incident with Sandra's sisters and Mr. Darius. Due to him saying that Sandra's sisters punched him in the eye, have abused him, they all ganged up on him. Sandra's sisters ganged up on him and beat him down, all that stuff. Never happened. Because you know what, ladies? If Sandra's sisters had did all that stuff to him, he wouldn't be able to take her through the stuff he's going through right now. I'll tell you that now. Basically lying to the court, saying that he got abused. When the judge found out that wasn't true, he didn't dismiss the case, but just kept doing hearings, and yeah. I can't really go into detail about the court stuff because it's not over. Sandra's Darius court stuff ain't over, y'all. It ain't over. Now, basically, that's a short synopsis of their relationship prior to what they're going through now. It's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. It's still a hot mess, but yeah. This is a short story of my truth. Y'all tell me y'all opinions. Or do y'all want me to go into more detail? Let me know. I'm here. That was like a synopsis. Well, not synopsis, but a summary of 4 years in about, what time is it? About 30, 35 minutes? Or should I keep going? Wait a minute, y'all ganging up on, or Sandra's sisters ganged up on here. I'm hearing 2 different stories, but I know what you're saying. It might confuse JC because he's an old man. Well, Darius was saying that Sandra's sisters ganged up on him, beat him up, gave him a black eye, blase blase, to get the minor. None of it was true, by the way. The judge found that out as soon as the court hearing had begun because Sandra's sisters were asked to testify in that first hearing. So, yeah. Like I said, if y'all want me to go into more detail, because I did say an hour, let me know, and I'll clear up any questions for you. Basically a summary in about 30 minutes. I thought I was going to be talking longer than that. And basically, let's just say domestic violence was in it. Domestic violence, verbal abuse, emotional abuse was the top 2 that started that. And lastly was physical. It's a lot. Right now it's about Darius is still playing emotional abuse games with Sandra, but as far as verbal and not verbal. No, sorry. Darius is playing verbal abuse games with Sandra, but Sandra is not letting him at this point. My opinion, if it was me, we would have beat that boy down and then take him to court and beat him down after court. Girl, get custody of the child. Get away from that man. Leave. And don't tell him a thing. Oh, boy. It should have went down like that, but not in the state of Maryland. Oh. If the tables were turned. Kim. Sandra would have been had her resolution before end of this year. I'm telling you that. Don't let nobody ever do that to you again, or Sandra. I got your back. Stay away from verbal and physical abuse. It's not good. Thank you. Sandra has learned her lesson. If you haven't figured out who Sandra is, you have to go back, way back. But basically, it was from ages 16 to now. So it's about 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Sorry, about 5 years. If you want to be technical. 5 years from ages 16 to now. But it felt like 8+ years because they both were stressed out at a young age and up to now. So, yep. Crazy. Sandra at the moment is exploring herself and might be in love with someone new. Well, not in love, but found someone that they can talk to. Not on a sexual level, but just someone who can be there for them without physically being attracted to them, and that's what she needs at the moment. She doesn't need physical attraction, she needs emotional satisfaction. You're welcome. You got a bumpy road ahead of you, girl. Been down that road. I'm going to pray for you. It's going to take a while before it gets better, but it gets better. I do love you. I love everybody who comes in here. I remember one of my friends, she used to be here all the time, Miss Bree, if she's still here. She was just like you. She's coming here all the time. So I gotta find how to contact her. But yeah. I love everybody who comes in here. But I'm still gonna be in this thing. So what? Feel free. Don't stop, won't stop. But I will take an intermission. So hold on, y'all. I gotta get my candy. Candy break. Which ones? Hold on. Be right back. BRBO. Pretty. Mm. Mm. I'm a, that was fine. Thank you. I'm only back for a little bit because I agreed to help my sister with her hair. And so I'll be coming back later. So I got me for 3 more minutes. It's just vegetables and spaghetti and fish. I want to see. Let's see it. Vegetable and spaghetti. How's everybody doing? What I do today? Thanks, JC. Oh my God, Crystal's doing better. And he said she's in the hospital. Oh, now coworker need explanation for a spreadsheet. He must work in the office. He be having conference calls, explanations, lunch break. Man, do it all. I think he's the manager over there. He takes his naps when he wants to. Man. Has she been able to talk to you, Kim? Oh, dang. That's cool. That's good. Soaking up some sun. 9 to 1. Whew. I'm doing good. But like I said, guys, I'll be back later. Because I did promise my sister I would do her hair for her. Well, not do her hair. Help her with her hair. So after that's over, I will be back. I appreciate all who came in, though, on this live. And who stayed after intermission. So, I will see y'all later on today. Well, I guess night. Yeah, later on tonight. Alright, guys. Let's get out of here. You know what I say. Samurai. Out. Hugs and kisses. See you too, Kim. And JC.